What's going on, y'all? We out here. Holla at y'all about. There's a kid in every king, and there's a king in every kid. Say it again. There's a kid in every king, and there's a king in every kid. And vice versa for the queens out there. There's a girl in every queen, and there's a queen in every girl. Now, I just want to speak on that a little bit because I said I was going to get to this point from my perspective of it. And the goal as a man is to live life to its maximum potential of what I have to offer, and provide whatever it is with the necessary tools that I have and the gifts, things that I have, to my loved ones, friends, family, whatever relationships, business relationships, or whatever it is that you build as you go through life and living life experiences, to become as, I don't want to say as productive, but to actually learn who you are as you keep growing and growing and growing to that king status. And the reason why I'm speaking on it like that, and whatever resonate with whoever it resonate with, cool. And look at it in both ends. Even though I'm a speak as king and kid, but it's also for both sides, for the queens. So with that being said, most of us would take it as, on the regular surface level of everyday life, as becoming a king is equated to what do you do for a living, what your occupation is, how much money you make, when you make this certain type of money, what do you do with it? Do you invest it? Do you save it? Do you stack it? Do you spend it? And all these different things. So reason I'm saying this is because if you go back in time, before we speak on the money aspect of it, it wasn't about the money, the dollar. It was about the qualities. Even though back then it was gold, it was about gold, having gold and all these things. But before you can acquire all of those assets of the gold and all those different things, it was your qualities. Was you fearless? Was you bold? Did you stand out and make that, whatever it was, the situation was? Was you a fighter? Was you a warrior? These different things, as far as the kid in you becoming that king. So you go through different levels of trainings and tactics to get to a point to position yourself to be qualified to be heir to the throne. Now, before I go ahead with that part about when you're sitting on your throne as a king, what we do nowadays in real time is we all are coming aware of certain lingo, certain knowledge, certain information. So nowadays, you hear a lot of the greetings as king, queen. Do your thing, king. Do your thing, queen. We speaking that on a regular daily basis now. And like they say, speak life. So we speaking it, that's one aspect of it. We speaking it. But we have to live it. And the only way we can live it is when we truly understand what it means to be king and queen, especially on the highest level. So to get to that level, to become that king and queen on that level, it goes back to what I always say. You got to connect with yourself. You got to go within. Connect with the Most High, your spiritual team, if you're spiritual, or however we want to put it, because everybody got different beliefs. But whatever it is that you believe in on the highest level, in a positive manner, to be better, to want to do better, to provide your generational lineage with a better life experience than what we saw and what we're seeing, to what we want them to see. The only way that can really truly be done on that highest level is what I said in the past message. You have to heal that inner child. You have to heal that inner child. You have people that have children, and everybody is going to give their own view of how they think you should raise your kid or how you shouldn't raise your kid. That's neither here or there. That's not the direct piece of why I'm going into this. But if you do have children and you're raising children, a lot of the times, kings, queens, but kings specifically, when you're raising these boys, if you didn't heal your inner child and you went through a lot, and as you raising them, you don't realize that you're guiding them down the same path. Even if physically through your eyes it seems like you're not doing it that way, you're trying to do something completely different from what you think you're doing. But the truth of the matter is, spiritually speaking, because your inner child is not healed, people don't know how to approach the connection with their children. It could be something as simple as when you're trying to tell your child right from wrong, certain things they might be doing wrong. Let's use a little young king that got that king in them, kid, but little young king who's not doing so well with being social, connecting with people or whatever. Or let's even go a little simpler with things that you want them to do in the house, around the house, to contribute, to give them responsibility, to learn independence, to learn how to connect with doing some work for themselves, not just for no money, but doing work for themselves to get that feeling and that accolade of understanding that if I want something clean around me, if I want to live in a clean type of environment, I have to clean it. I have to do the work. What is the best way to connect with him? Let's say he loved playing video games and all that extra stuff. What's the best way to connect? Most of us would be who didn't go within and heal their inner child would go bystander. Hey, what's going on, bro? Why you ain't do this? Da da da. You want to play the game, and you could have took care of what you supposed to take care of. Why this stuff not clean and da 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 da. Majority of the time, that's how it go down. Not all the time, because you got a lot of kings out there who have children who already bypassed that piece and actually started healing their inner child, or healed their inner child because they understand. And it could be from different perceptions of it, but the overall thing is that they healed their inner child. They understand. With that being said, we, the kings who had to go through that process and heal your inner child to connect with your sons, to raise your sons, it could be, you could use a tactic as based off what I said, that scenario, your son like playing the game, you want to talk to him to get him to understand, you got to connect with him on his level. So by you healing your inner child, you able to allow your inner child to connect with your child, with the kid that you're looking at as your son. That's your son. The kid inside of you that was once a kid, that you probably couldn't do all of those things, connect, use that energy of your inner child to connect with your child now. Going in, oh, playing the game? I want to play the game with you. I want to talk to you. And then you go about it in that way. You approach it in a certain type of manner. Even though everybody be like, nah, I'm going to go, that's my kid. This ain't that. A lot of us was raised like that. A lot of us, that's what we know. That's what we knew. For the ones who started doing the work, they know better. They know different. And reason being of why I'm saying that is because before you even get started, it's already finished when you come like that. Feel me? You want that child, like any child, to feel comfortable, to have an understanding of what's going on when you're telling them something for their own good. So you have to connect on their level. They're not able to connect on your level. You remember that old saying that at a point in life, when you think about it, when people used to say, or the older folks used to say back then, oh, let's say you 20. Oh, you 20. I'm 50. I was 20 at one point. You got to get to 50. I've been where you at. You got to get to where I'm at. So with that being said, that scenario, that piece that we done heard, is the same difference for a child now. They're not grown. They're not fully developed at that point where you at now. You've been at the point where they was. You know how hard it was to comprehend certain things, or to get your parents to understand where you was coming from, because your eyes saw different in life than what their eyes saw, because of what they went through that you didn't understand their experiences, because you never went through those experiences at that time. So now that you learned from it, you got the best of both worlds. You know what you went through as a child. You know what you saw as a child. You know what you're doing now as an adult. To say that, oh, okay, when my parents were at 25, 30 years old, whatever it was, when I was 8, 9, whatever it was, now I get it, because now I'm at that point. So now you want to change it up. You want to go about it in a different manner, so you connect with that child. So you get on their level. To say get on their level is not a bad thing, because you can connect now. They're going to be able to resonate with you. They're going to be able to open up to you. They're going to be able to understand you on a whole different vibe. And then you're going to see what true, real love connection is. Because you went within and you took that love of taking your time to love yourself and heal your inner child. That now you could connect with your child, because now that whatever hole was in you is filled. Now that it's filled, you can give your child the thing that wasn't given to you. So now when you connect with them, you sit down with them, you get on the game with them, they already excited because you want to do something with them that they like to do. And same thing like with the queens out there, but if you have daughters or nieces, or because you don't have to have children. I'm just saying it because I want to keep it simple and straight to the point of that connection. But if you got nieces, if God kids, however you want to put it, wherever it resonate, you know, it connects with you. But back to what I was saying with that, you giving that child that enlightenment while they're young, to show them that there's not a big separation. There is a connection. You feel what I'm saying? Wow, daddy is doing something that I like to do. He's doing it with me. So now they can see that inner child in you. They can see the willingness from the inner child in you. They know you daddy. They know you king. They know you holding it down. but they also have to know that they have a safe place with you to be able to come and talk to you in that manner and get to that point where they can have those open-ended discussions, and not have fear in them, to feel like because of your authority as king, as the person who's running the show that has the authority, they won't have to look at it with fear. Now, with that being said, a lot of the times we wonder why our children come out into the world, and then when they faced with authoritative figures that's playing authority roles, even though, everything is within reason. So if there's rules and regulations that's being followed and, you're part of that, then yeah, you follow that. But they'll be able to do that without fear, without scarcity, like without being scared, without having that mindset that if I don't do it, then this gonna happen to me, or I have to be forced into doing. Like, you don't want that. And it starts, I know it starts with you, but you know how the teachers used to say when we was growing up in school, if a child was acting up, or what they used to say, it starts at home. It starts at home. And they, you had some people arguing it like, the parents be at work, so how it come from home? But the truth of the matter is, it starts at home, within the home. And, it's other situations where you don't have the king in the household, and the queens have to raise the kids, the little kings, the kids that's going to become kings. And that's why it be so difficult, because the connection is already off when you take in, and it could be different aspects, but if we're going to utilize the queen. You take a queen that didn't heal her inner girl, the little girl that was in her, she didn't heal that inner girl. And now that you didn't heal your inner child, that little girl, and you're raising a little young king, a boy, it's going to be real hard to connect, because it's already not aligned. Then the fact that it's already hurt and heaviness and burden already there from whatever that queen went through in her childhood, to not be able to whatever she went through in her childhood, and then not be able to have that space and time to heal her inner child. Now everything is frustration, everything is a problem, especially when she got to go to work, she got to provide for these young boys that's growing. And you know how it is when it come with boys and girls. Boys require more when it comes to food and different things. You know what I'm saying? For the ones who know and got these situations, you got to just look at it in that sense. So it's like when that woman is trying to connect, it's no possible way she gonna be able to connect on that level. Yeah, for face value, the son gonna naturally know just by the things he see on the outskirt that, I gotta protect mommy. But then you got a lot of those kids in that situation that they'll disrespect mommy or yelling at mommy, come on mom, like da 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 da. And then when shit hitting the fan, pardon my language, sometimes I slip up, but when it hit the fan, they're gonna still be out there to rock with their moms in them, or how you put it, because they see themselves as the man. But think about that. They already seen themselves as the man, with no guidance, with no stability, with no blueprint, with nothing put in front of them to give them the comfortability to know that I can take my time and learn it this way and understand it this way, because not only am I being told this, I can see it because I have a king here. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm big about the family structure and the family dynamic, but I also understand that if it don't work out, it don't work out between a mother and the father's relationship. If it don't work, if it's not aligned and it don't work, it don't work. However, it shouldn't be the major issues of the situations of not being able to find some type of space and understanding that will fit to where that king is able to connect with his kid and vice versa, that queen connecting with her kid, whatever the situation may be. Certain things are on different levels that I don't speak on. You know what your situation is, so if it's far-fetched, far out, understandable. But I'm keeping it dense, simple, to keep it straight to the point. So, like I said, there's a king in every kid, and there's a kid in every king. And for you to get to that high level of being a king, you have to heal that inner child. Because by you healing your inner child, it puts you in the right position, in the right direction to heal your lineage, to heal your future generation and your future generations. Because you was bold enough, strong enough, and had the willpower to put your ego and your pride to the side, despite what the situation may have been, despite the situation of what you probably had to go through and what you had to face, and heal that inner child. Because a lot of us out here, especially with the men, at this point in life, we're waking up. And a lot of men, they understanding their worth on an interconnection level. They understanding their worth. However, you have a lot of us men out here who will say all day, nah, I can't deal with that. The mother, she this and she that. And could be absolutely 100,000% correct. In some situations, they don't even have parts in it because it went too far. But for the situations, because I'm optimistic. I feel like any situation has some type of boundary of solution to be able to go in that right direction to be fixed. But one thing I know that's powerful of what I'm saying is healing that inner child. Heal that inner child, you able to connect. So that's why you got a lot of men out here, a lot of us men out here, and it's on a good note, that are not even the biological fathers of certain children. Meaning whether they be nephews, whether it be guard kids, like I said earlier, whether it be your step kids that you consider as your kids, and so forth, so on, your grandkids, whatever it may be. The stand-up men who took the time, even if they didn't heal their inner child completely, but understood and understand and overstand that at the end of the day, what I went through as a child is not this child's fault. What I went through as a child, an experience I had to go through, and I learned from them to better myself and to be a better person. Now I can help this child get to the next level where they ain't got to go through what I went through. They keep their head on right. So it's my responsibility as that man, as that king, to pass that on. And you know how they say, on one end, it takes a village to raise a child. So if each one teach one and help each other out, it gives a more guaranteed positive view for those kids to have a better chance than what most kids have growing up that wasn't able to have these connections. Then on the opposite end, for my kings out there, is a saying that you can't build a kingdom with someone who wants attention from the village. I take that to mean if y'all not aligned, if y'all don't have the same moral standards and focus on what it is that y'all want to build on, if y'all bring children into the world, what it is on how y'all want to structure everything, then let it be. A lot of us have that excuse because we already made the decision to do it, that when it comes to the sexual aspect, the exterior aspect of how somebody looks, or the intentional aspect of what a person has or what you think they're gonna have, to base their decision on dealing with each other and having kids off of those things that can change at any given time. That's the problem. But if we mature enough, grown enough, and wise enough to get to some point where it's like, everybody always talk about they love their kids. They love their kids. They don't want to see nothing done wrong to their kids. So it starts with you. It starts with you, king. It starts with you, queen. If you take that time to actually love on yourself and heal yourself, that inner child, then you can actually take that time to really give your child that's going to become that queen, that's going to become that king, something that's beyond valuable, that they can't get with a price on it, with a price tag on it. And that's why I wanted to speak on this, because it's like a lot of us got our views upside down. We looking at it in the sense that, oh, if I go hard on this job, get this money, and be able to do this and give everything that they want, then everything is good. That's just one aspect. That's just one aspect. All of these things play a valuable part, but that's just one aspect. That's not the greatest aspect, because what happens when you don't have the money coming in? What happens when your health take a little turn and you can't go to work? You're not able to go to work. Do you say, oh, I can't work, so now I can't do anything? No, you still show up and show out for your kids, because you understand, because of your own experiences. And like I'm gonna keep saying, especially for them queens and kings that actually do the work to heal their inner child, because they understand what the treasure is. They understand what the connection is. They understand what the real, true love connection of what they're doing. Because if you're going to work and you say, I'm going to work to get this money for my kids, I love my kids. I'm going to work to get this money for my significant other because I love my significant other, so we could be good and do this, that, and the third. Okay, I commend that. I respect that. I'm about that. However, then on the opposite end, when all these things, because these are external things, and they're taken away out of the blue, unexpectedly, or however you want to put it, what do? Do you remain the same, or do you change? Do you let the frustration of what was familiar to you, of what looked stable, define you? Do you switch up? Do your attitude change completely on your children? Now you can't connect with them because you more hinge down on that situation? That's what I'm saying, what I'm saying. Only the ones who actually done the work to heal their inner child and connect with their children are going to actually understand what I'm talking about right now, because they've done it. The ones who haven't done it and want to do it, they're going to also have that understanding of what I'm saying as a directional path that they can go in. The ones who really have no clue and just look at everything as the physical aspect of what it is, don't have the guidance, don't have the understanding, and think that it's just only about, man, as long as I'm getting to the bag, I'm good. You're not gonna really get it. It's different levels. It's really different levels. So that's why I always say I'm gonna speak on my perspective of what I actually live, things I've went through, things I go through, things I may encounter as we keep going through life experiences. And whoever it resonates with, it resonates with. If it don't, it don't. It's cool. Everything ain't for everybody, like I always say. But in this situation of what I'm speaking on, about every kid has a king in them and every king has a kid in them, is when you begin to really understand that on a spiritual level and really do the work and connect with the Most High, you will really have the order and the structure that cannot be broken whatsoever, even with the physical stuff that happens. So whether it be loss of finances, whether it be certain things that your child is going through that they don't understand because of who you are, from doing the work and knowing the approach, seeing it for what it is, recognizing it, and connecting with them, oh man, it's gonna be beautiful. The love that you felt that when you didn't heal your inner child, that you was missing out on, you're gonna regain all of that back and more. Your children is they're gonna show you, like, I see you, daddy, I see you, mommy, I see you, king, I see you, queen. And that's what makes them children want to follow in your steps. And the reason why they want to follow in your steps is because they see your steps are clean, they smooth, they right. And for my kings, when that kid see how strong you are as a king, how you could be transparent, how you can show them that there is a such thing for a man to have a vulnerable side, to be able to be vulnerable, especially with his kid, it's a different level. It's a different level. Especially when you're a king who has a queen who understands it, how strong you are, and you could be vulnerable with her. Oh man. Now we talking the supernatural, the things that ain't the norm for everybody. You get what I'm saying? So the different levels of understanding and understanding comes from you learning you first. You have to learn you. You have to learn you. You have to heal you. And the only way you're going to be able to heal you and learn you and all these things, like I always say, is go within. Connect, meditate. Talk to your spiritual team. Talk to the Most High. You'll get the guidance. You'll have the strength. You're going to have that connection. That's what it's about at this point. Like I always say, you can see the changes. A lot of people are waking up to the things that what we all quote unquote thought was the norm of everything and how systematically everything is supposed to go. All that stuff is changing. It's changing. This ain't by luck or coincidence. In my opinion, I don't believe anything is a coincidence. Everything happens when it's supposed to happen in divine time. It's already ordained, it's already in that order. Everything is already set to what it's supposed to be. It has to be balanced. So that's the point we at now. Hey, how you doing, bro? All right. So when you understand it on that level, you could really connect. And that king that healed his kid, his inner child, will give that kid full connection, full power, and they'll be able to step out in life at their highest potential and maximize it to become even greater. That's what you want to see. So, you know, what was that song Michael Jackson had? Heal the world, make it a better place. Come on, that was back then. And you think about it, a lot of these celebrities was already throwing messages out in their songs from back then. They knew what it was. We coming to these points. Coming to these points. So anybody could run their mouth because they got lips. We all know that. But what's the value in it? What's the value in it? And before you could get on anybody and talk to people and tell them, oh, this is this and that is that, you got to be living it. You got to be already doing it. For you to be speaking on it, it has to match. It has to be that balance. You can't say one thing today and do something different tomorrow and then expect people to really, truly connect. So I'm saying what I know. To all my kings out there, to all my queens out there. Keep healing your inner child. Because healing your inner child is going to protect and build and connection with who you are to what you want your lineage and your generation to become with your children. So that's all I really wanted to come on here and say. Y'all keep doing what y'all do. That's just a little food for thought. Take it how it come. Take what resonate with you and apply it. And you compare it to that. And you go from there. Still have fun and enjoy yourself. Do what you do. But heal that inner child and connect with your kids. And become one with yourself. Connect with the Most High. So y'all stay up. Keep living in love, light, peace, happiness, all that good stuff. And I'm going to holler at y'all in the next one.